What does it really mean to be a Sigma male? Is it just about being independent or silent? Not quite right. In this discussion, we're going beyond those surface-level traits. We're diving into the top 5 signs you're not a Sigma male. We won't be talking about the obvious things like not needing to prove anything or staying quiet. No, these deep traits are far more challenging and aren't something anyone can adopt overnight. They require practice, a complete shift in mindset, and a deeper understanding of what it means to be truly Sigma. This isn't about making a few surface-level edits to your personality. These are fundamental changes that define the essence of a Sigma male. If you see yourself in these signs, you can be a lot of things, but a Sigma isn't one of them, at least not yet. Let's explore what it truly takes to embody the Sigma mindset and see if you measure up. Chapter 1. You are totally non-toxic. Sorry, I don't want to hurt feelings, but this is a cornerstone of Sigma personality. Do you think that being Sigma means avoiding confrontations, showing a laid-back attitude, and allowing disrespect to pass unchecked? If so, you've misunderstood what it means to wield real Sigma honor. A true Sigma male isn't completely non-toxic in the sense that he never engages. Instead, he balances a calm demeanor with an undeniable presence that commands respect. People may hesitate to speak to him, not out of physical fear, but out of a deep understanding that any interaction must be rooted in respect. A Sigma male doesn't shy away from setting boundaries. He isn't interested in being liked by everyone, and he certainly doesn't tolerate disrespect. When someone crosses a line, a Sigma doesn't explode with emotion or retaliate with overt aggression. Instead, he responds with a cold, deliberate presence that makes it clear such behavior won't be ignored. This creates an atmosphere where people think twice before engaging with him casually or disrespectfully. People feel a certain tension around a Sigma because they know that he expects a certain level of decorum. They understand that if they make the mistake of speaking to him without respect, they will not get what they need, whether that's his collaboration, his approval, or his assistance. This isn't about instilling fear in the traditional sense. It's about establishing an environment where respect is the currency of interaction. This presence doesn't stem from being overtly toxic or aggressive, but from a firm grasp of self-worth and boundaries. A Sigma male's power is subtle yet potent. It's the quiet confidence that communicates, "Disrespect me, and you lose access to what I bring." It's this quiet authority that makes people hesitant to engage without considering their approach, ensuring that interactions remain respectful. Stoicism teaches us that power isn't about dominating others through force, but through the strength of character and the control of one's responses. A Sigma male embodies this by maintaining a composed exterior while making it clear that disrespect won't go unnoticed. His response is cold, not because he's indifferent, but because he understands that true power doesn't need to shout. It's felt in the silence and in the unyielding stance. To harness this balance, embrace the idea that being non-toxic doesn't mean being passive. Assert your boundaries with calm, measured responses. Let others understand that while you may be composed, you are not someone to be taken lightly. By doing so, you cultivate an aura of respect that ensures people engage with you thoughtfully, understanding that every interaction with you demands a foundation of respect. You resent others' success. Have you ever felt a knot in your stomach when someone else achieves something good? Not just mild envy, but a genuine discomfort that lingers, turning admiration into bitterness. This reaction reveals more about you than you'd like to admit. It's not just about the other person's success, it's about your perception of what it means for you. The discomfort you feel isn't just jealousy, it's rooted in a scarcity mindset. Deep down, you believe there's a limited amount of success to go around. Someone else's achievement feels like a direct threat to your potential, as if their gain automatically reduces your chances. This zero-sum thinking warps your perception, making you see others' victories as your losses. True Sigma males, however, operate from an abundance mindset. They understand that success is not a finite resource. One person's achievement doesn't diminish their own possibilities. Instead of feeling threatened, they see others' success as a source of inspiration. a tangible proof that greatness is attainable. They learn from it, fuel their ambition with it, and use it as a stepping stone to their own growth. When you criticize or downplay someone else's achievements, you reveal insecurity rather than independence. It's a form of defense, a way to protect your ego from the discomfort of comparison. But real growth, real power, comes from confronting these feelings, understanding them, and moving beyond them. To transform this negative reaction, start by celebrating others' wins genuinely. See them as case studies in success, opportunities to learn rather than threats. Shift your focus from comparison to self-improvement. Remember, a Sigma male doesn't count someone else's coins. He's too busy minting his own. True power lies in knowing that another's victory is not your defeat, but an invitation to rise higher. Chapter 4. You feel intimidated by alpha presence. Have you ever felt uneasy when an alpha enters the room? Maybe it's a colleague or even a friend. Still, you feel little jealous of their presence itself. They command attention, make light-hearted but biting remarks. Still, everyone likes them. They are welcoming him, giving him handshakes. But to you, their presence feels overwhelming. You mean, what's the need? I am better than him. You feel an urge to talk or be loud, just to show your dominance. If your instinct is like that, or you feel they cut your silent dominance and declare their own, wishing they hadn't arrived, you might need to reconsider your self-assessment as a Sigma male. A true Sigma isn't fazed by the presence of an alpha. They don't see the alpha's dominance as a threat because their confidence isn't built on comparison. Sigma males operate on a different wavelength, drawing strength from their autonomy rather than the need to dominate a social space. They don't need to be the loudest voice to feel powerful. Their influence is subtle but potent, like an undercurrent beneath the surface. When you feel discomfort in these situations, it's often a reflection of inner insecurity. The alpha's overt confidence might highlight your own doubts, making their presence feel oppressive. This reaction suggests a vulnerability, a fear that you're being overshadowed or judged by a standard you can't meet. But a Sigma understands that power isn't a competition, it's a state of being. They don't compete for attention or approval because their self-worth is independent of others' opinions. Stoicism teaches that external circumstances should not disturb our inner peace. The presence of an alpha, no matter how commanding, doesn't dictate a Sigma's emotional state. Instead of feeling threatened, a Sigma male remains grounded, observing without being drawn into the alpha's energy. They know their value isn't diminished by another's charisma. To cultivate this mindset, focus on building an unshakable sense of self. Recognize that the alpha's behavior is about them, not you. Maintain your composure, knowing that your power lies in your ability to stay centered, regardless of who enters the room. When you can coexist with dominant personalities without losing your sense of calm, you step closer to the quiet strength that defines a true Sigma. Chapter 5. You act impulsively. A genuine Sigma male is not ruled by impulse. He acts with intention and foresight, understanding that true freedom comes from making conscious choices, not reacting on a whim. While spontaneity may feel empowering in the moment, its recklessness often leads to regret. Acting without thinking through the consequences is not a sign of strength, but a lack of self-control. When you act without careful consideration and things go awry, the instinct to blame others kicks in. It's your boss's fault for poor instructions, your friend's fault for bad advice, or society's fault for its unfair rules. This shifting of blame reveals an unwillingness to take ownership of your actions. It's easier to point fingers than to confront your own mistakes. True Sigma males embrace accountability. They understand that with independence comes the responsibility to own their actions and their outcomes, whether they lead to success or failure. This accountability is what gives them power and control over their lives. They don't need scapegoats because they are secure in their ability to learn and grow from their errors. The Stoic way emphasizes deliberate action. Sun Tzu's wisdom, "The wise warrior avoids the battle," reminds us that strength lies in strategy, not impulsiveness. By thinking before acting, a Sigma male ensures that his moves are calculated, his risks are measured, and his outcomes, whether good or bad, are his to own. To align with this principle, slow down your decision-making process. Reflect on the possible outcomes before you act. When mistakes happen, resist the urge to blame others. Instead, take responsibility, learn from the experience, and move forward with greater wisdom. True independence isn't about breaking rules impulsively. It's about making thoughtful choices that reflect your values and your vision. Hope you've liked this video. Now I would really want to hear your thoughts about this, or any specific video you want to see. I am open to suggestions, and I really appreciate what you guys do for this channel. Your love and support is vital for us. Thanks.